Hello, Sioux Falls, and welcome to Planning Preview for the month of July. My name is Jason Bieber with the Planning Office at the City of Sioux Falls, and joining me as always is Bradyn, our Planning Commission Chairman.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it looks like we got a pretty good sized agenda, which is great for July.
Yeah, let's get started. Looks like the first two, an exciting new development coming to downtown Sioux Falls.
Yeah, so this is actually the railroad property, old railroad switching yard property that the city got, I don't know, probably 10 years ago now. We probably have that when we moved the switching yard over by Bradyn. So this is the leftover property from that. We found a developer, an RFP developer out of Des Moines that's actually going to develop it in about a $95 million project.
Yeah.
So some mixed use and apartments and all sorts of things down there. So
that's great. Looks like they're getting a TIF. Is that what this is about?
So then they'll go forward to the Planning Commission to you guys to approve the boundary and the TIF, and then go forward to City Council for the official approval. And that will help them with some of that infrastructure issues that are downtown that you probably know about, with all the quartzite blasting and different things like that. So it'll be nice to actually get that property developed, and it's been kind of used as a parking lot staging area for Sharapa, and now that's coming to an end, so it'll be good.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Looks like the next one is a future land use amendment. This is out by 85th and Cliff, kind of by the Freshman Academy. Yeah,
just north of the Freshman Academy, right there on the north side of 85th Street. Just another area that the developer's looking to get into Tier 1. And then once you can get that into Tier 1, then they can pursue annexation and start developing out there. So
Great. Next one is rezoning from light industrial to C2 commercial at 4904 East 10th Street. This is out by Dolly Farm.
Yeah, so this is kind of a remnant. Well, there's a large chunk of this property zoned I-1, and then a smaller chunk of it is zoned commercial. So just to try and get it all zoned is one thing, and then doing a new retail business out there.
Very good. Next one, rezoning from office district to single-family residential, 1500 South Sycamore. It's by 26th Street.
Yeah, just north of 26th. If you've seen it, it's that building that has kind of the silo that looks like an old barn.
It looks like an old barn, yeah.
So Lisa, who owns that, the backside of it is actually, there's nothing on the backside. There's just an access drive and then a bunch of grass. So she wants to actually build her single-family house on a portion of that land back there that'll front the road. So kind of a cool way for her to be right by her office business. So.
Yeah, very good. Next one, rezoning from live work to RD2 townhome near Ledbridge and Rateliff.
Yeah, this is out by 57th and Sycamore. Highway 11, our Veterans Parkway area. Just going down to RD2 because they kind of honed in on exactly what they want to do out there, which would be townhomes.
Yep,
so.
Very good. And then a conditional use permit for on-sale alcohol near 1813 South Marion Road. Yeah,
so this would be the strip mall in the southwest corner of 26th and Marion there behind the bank. Looking to do another casino there, move a license over to there. So
very good. And it looks like number 8, we have planned use or planned unit development. This is the main campus of Avera. This is their new
women's and children building, which is great. So this is that building that they will tear down and then build a brand new one on the main campus. So just coming in to update that initial development plan to kind of show that new building that they're going to be constructing. So
very good. And looks like the next one similar, just their south campus.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of great. They're going to build a building on the south campus too, so it's nice that they're reinvesting not only in the one in the core, but continuing to build the one on the south side. So both of those campuses are doing quite well. So
yeah, very good.
Yeah, that's it. So it looks like a bunch of fun, big projects. So it should be an interesting meeting.
Yeah, very good.
And stay tuned, Sioux Falls. After the break, we have Maren Engel coming on. She's our new arts coordinator with our department to talk a little bit about what's going on with the arts in Sioux Falls. So stay tuned.
Hey, this is Seth with the City of Sioux Falls Housing Division. I'm here today with today's Home Maintenance Minute to talk to you about your air conditioner and how to take care of it. So one thing that I like to do once a year is to make sure, first and foremost, that your disconnect is turned off. All air conditioners should have a disconnect on the outside as well as on the panel. So you want to turn the breaker off at the panel, turn your disconnect off outside, and then you know there's no electricity in the unit. Okay, then if you look on the top, there's 4 bolts that hold this fan assembly on. If you take those bolts out, lift this assembly out and off and over to the side a little bit, just take a simple garden hose and go in around the fins on the inside of the unit and spray water from the inside out. And so if you look on the outside of an air conditioning unit, there are fins. It's much like a radiator in a car, and they get clogged. They get clogged with cottonwood, trees, debris, and leaves and dirt and dust. And simply going in from the inside and pushing that material out with water will clean that up, and it'll keep your air conditioner running much longer. Thanks for being with me today with today's Home Maintenance Minute.
Welcome back to Planning Preview for the month of July. Joining me now is Maren Engel, our new arts coordinator.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
So you've been with the city, is it a month?
About a month, a little bit more than a month.
A little bit more than a month.
Yeah.
So I know that the arts coordinator position was something that's been talked about probably for 2 years, I think.
Yeah, maybe, I think 5.
5 years?
Yeah, a long time. It's been in the works. So.
And it was one of the big things that the mayor had heard from the arts community. Hey, the city really needs a full-time person. We had Diane, who was doing arts part-time because she was historic. She had a bunch of other duties, and then arts was kind of just added onto it. So it's great to have you as a full-time arts coordinator with the city. So just maybe tell our viewers and a little bit about yourself. So.
Yeah, well, I've been a performing artist in Sioux Falls for a long time, and I've also worked in nonprofit and development for some arts organizations too. So I followed the role and the mayor's push to get this happening for a long time. And yeah, it was just really something I wanted to kind of put my name in the hat. And yeah, I always joke that it went a little too far and now I have the job. So, but it's such a great push from the city and good recognition that there's so much happening in Sioux Falls related to the arts, and just to have a point person and kind of a bridge of contact for the arts community with the city is huge. So
yeah, that's great. You know, one of the things I think, I'm not big as big into art as obviously you are, but I think most people think art is just what you see, right? Like visual. Totally. And what's great about you and the great about the arts coordinator position, it's not just visual arts, it's performing arts, it's everything that you are going to be working on to try and improve in Sioux Falls. So I think that's amazing.
Definitely. I think public art is very visual, and so there's a big emphasis, and a lot of what I do is help manage and oversee the city art that we own, and that is the visual art that the people are familiar with. But there are so many people making art, literary art, performance art, and visual art all over our city, and they really make our city what it is. So it's exciting to kind of open the idea of what the arts can do in a public space in kind of all aspects of art.
Absolutely, and that's what I think is great with it. So we had talked a little bit, not on the show, but a while ago, so you're actually looking to create a new board, and what was that board called?
The Arts Commission, and so should be hearing a little bit more information about that soon, but really this will be kind of the voting body and kind of an advisory group of individuals from the community who will help guide some of these initiatives with the city, and this will be 7 people, and each of those 7 people has to have had a really big impact on the arts community. The arts community needs to know who these people are. They need to be arts advocates and make decisions and recommendations to the mayor and the city council on behalf of the whole city. So it's a big job, but it's
it is a big job. And I know that'll, like we had just talked about, that'll replace the Visual Arts Commission, right?
Yeah, so our amazing Visual Arts Commission currently will now become a committee of the commission. So we're going to keep them intact because they do, particularly on the public art and public visual art side of things, they're kind of the experts and they really have it down to a science. And so we will be keeping that group of individuals who will kind of focus in on that work. But as you said, we're really opening up the Arts Commission to feature kind of all of the arts that that are happening in Sioux Falls.
So that's good there, so are coming to be created. So do you have a lot of people that are applying to be on that board, or
We will. So
Okay.
hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to make an announcement about opening
okay.
applications, and it will be an open opportunity, open application. And so we really hope there's a lot of excitement in the community about applying, because we need the right people at the table to make very big creative decisions and cultural decisions for our city.
Well, that's amazing. I think it's going to be great, like you said, to be able to have people on that board that are that just don't care about the visual arts, but all the other type of arts that there are within the city.
Absolutely.
So you've worked for the city for a month now, right?
Yep.
I've worked for 15 years,
Yes.
so I remember when I was only under a month. But, and it's great. Don't get me wrong. I love working for the city. So what's something that has surprised you with your role with the arts coordinator with the city?
Yeah, I think there's so much excitement within the city and in departments across the city that are really excited about this position. I think that's been surprising and exciting. I've been actually this week meeting with a lot of the department directors for various departments of the city, and they're all excited about how we can incorporate the arts into a lot of aspects of what we do. I think it's really wise that this position is built into the planning department, because there's so much opportunity to consider art in how we develop our city. So I think just the general excitement kind of internally, obviously the arts community is excited, but it's been great to see that the city departments are excited about this initiative as well.
Yeah, and I think that's great. Like you said, as part of the planning department, since we do look through a lot of developments and approved developments, finding out ways that maybe we can incorporate more art or make suggestions on how you can incorporate more art into the development to really make it look nicer and make it, more people interested in
I
it.
think that there's this acknowledgement that when art exists in a space, a lot of cool things happen around that space. That's where people want to be. And so it's wise to consider that in the way that we develop Sioux Falls, to create opportunities by investing in the arts in some of those areas.
Yep, totally agree. So you had been here a month, so you're number one. Let's just what's a goal for you besides getting the Arts Commission up and going? What's a goal for you in your first year? Like, what would you like to see more of? What would you really want to work on?
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of a broad idea, but I think one of the things that the city has heard and what I'm hearing from the arts community is just kind of opening up the doors a little bit and a little bit of transparency in some of the ways that we make decisions about the arts in Sioux Falls. So there's a lot of new processes that need to be developed, which isn't necessarily the fun stuff, but it makes things happen more quickly and more easily when we have good, clear, transparent processes for the way that we make decisions about arts. So really, I've been spending my month out in the community, meeting with as many arts leaders, arts organizations, individual artists, just to learn a little bit about what their needs are, what they're excited about, why they want to stay in Sioux Falls and be an artist in Sioux Falls. And though that's our greatest resource in the arts and culture world are our artists. So I really hope that by the end of this year, the arts community feels a big sense of connection to the city, and that there's some transparency there about some of the decisions that we make.
Yeah, so you're having to work on a lot of the behind the scene things that
definitely
most people don't see, but that's how you get to where you get to see the big things that are happening. So you talked a little bit about that. You were talking to a lot of the artists and the art groups and stuff. What are some of the challenges that they're having and maybe some opportunities that the city provides them? Is there a certain challenge that you're hearing that's over and over again that this is what we need to improve to be able to improve the arts within the city?
Definitely. I think that one of the, particularly with our performing artists and even our literary artists, I think we have a lot of facility here in Sioux Falls, a lot of space, and the city has really invested in a lot of facility. And what I'm hearing from the community is that it's really hard to find the funds to rent the space to do what they do. And so I think that's something that I think using a lot of different partnerships and talking to the right people and figuring out how to make a livable wage for artists who want to create here, and finding ways to find opportunities for people to rehearse, for people to perform. Those are some of the things I'm hearing, is access to space. affordability of space is a big problem.
Yeah, and I agree. We've got like where the building we're in now, the Orpheum, the wash. I mean, we have the space for people to perform, but like you said, to rent it, I mean,
totally.
It's costly to rent some of that stuff.
It is.
So being able to looking for like maybe a sponsor that could rent something or get a reduced rate or something where maybe some of these local artists could just go in and do their thing.
Exactly. And I think investing in our community artists is a great way to invest in the city. And so I'd love to see more of that. You know, I would love to see a goal that we have, and hopefully will happen soon, is that the city has not yet had a kind of a grant making opportunity for artists in Sioux Falls. And so hopefully that can be something we can consider too, is building a granting program that might help some of our local organizations and individuals pursue some really cool partnerships and projects with the city.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get you out of here on this one question, okay? So you're the arts coordinator for Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you like to travel to other cities and look at the, okay.
Yeah.
So, because like I said, I'm not a lot into art as much as I probably should be. Love the sculpture.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
I can tell you're going to get our department's going to be the biggest art advocates. Yes, I'm very excited for that. So, what's one city that that you've been to in the United States that you just really love their art programs, what they're doing, and maybe some of those things that you could model from that city into Sioux Falls?
Yeah, I really my brother lives in Colorado.
Okay.
So I spent a little time in Fort Collins, Colorado, which I think is a really interesting city to kind of put up against Sioux Falls. It's a very similar size and almost a kind of, there's a lot of similarities in like structure, and I think I would love to see Sioux Falls kind of go that direction. They just pour into their arts and culture community, and there's a lot of different ways that they've done that. The city is very supportive, but there's also a lot of great private, public partnerships that are happening in that city to really put it on that map as an arts city. So every time I'm in Fort Collins, I like see Sioux Falls, and I see things that would be that would work really well here. One of the cool things about what I'll be doing in the next couple of months is traveling to some cities that really are kind of aligning and aspirational for Sioux Falls in the arts and culture space. So one of those cities is Boise, and I've never been to Boise, but I know it's a sister city for us, and the way that they've structured their arts and culture department is kind of similar to the route that we're trying to go. So I'm very excited to learn from friends in Boise about how this has worked for them. And then Irving, Texas is a big suburb of Dallas, that has a pretty incredible arts and culture department and have really poured into the arts in their community. And so I'm excited to travel to some of those places and just try to steal some ideas and like learn about how they've partnered with people in the community to get some things done. So
do those two cities then have like a similar position like yours then? Really? They probably had it for a while then, or is it pretty new too?
They have. Some of them have had them for quite some time. And it's really interesting is some cities, their arts and culture department is completely separate from the city and it's their own entity.
Really?
And then some are within certain departments of the city. So it's really interesting to see how different cities have tackled this. And so we're kind of looking at a lot of different models and kind of trying to figure out who does it the best and what are some things that could really work here in partnership with the Planning and Development Department and with other partners in the city.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on. I'm sure I'm going to have you on again when we get you in a couple months and still see
there will
how
be
you're
some
doing.
hopefully some projects done. So we're laying
absolutely.
the groundwork for some really exciting things to happen. So I'm just excited for what's next.
And maybe by the time I have you back on, you'll have schooled me on all this art stuff.
Oh yeah, you're going to be a scholar, an art scholar next time I'm here.
Thanks so much, Maren. I appreciate you being on.
Appreciate it.
And thanks, Sioux Falls, for joining us for Planning Preview for the month of July. Just a reminder, the meeting for July is on Monday, July 1st, not our typical Wednesday because of the July 4th holiday. So our meeting is on Monday, July 1st at 6 p.m. at the Carnegie Town Hall. And as always, we allow public input from any of the items that we talked about tonight. And also we do have that 5-minute public input comment period at the end of the agenda. So thanks, Sioux Falls, and have a great day.